But going back to some of the guys from that weight class, you mentioned Javante not really before moving up, taking on the best guys at 130, guys like Berchelt, guys like Shakur Stevenson, guys like Valdez. After watching about Valdez and Berchelt, what do you think is next for Oscar Valdez? Because I think that's the kind of performance where you're really deserving of something bigger.
I want the Shakur Stevenson fight. If you watch my interview that I did with Shakur Stevenson, I did an interview with him 2 weeks prior to him having his first pro fight. And I mentioned a fight between him and Oscar Valdez as a future fight for him. And he wasn't even a professional yet. He didn't even have his first pro fight. And I told him, I said, I would like to see you fight Oscar Valdez. What do you think about that? And at the time, they were very friendly because they were sparring together and stuff like that. So he gave him a lot of, big ups and shouting him out and everything. He was saying that, that he's a good friend and everything like that. But then now, fast forward a couple of years later, he's chasing him. He was chasing him at 126 pounds, and Valdez vacated and moved up to 130. Now Shakur's at 130. He's calling for that fight. He should get that opportunity, because right now Shakur is not even getting the title shot, which I told people that, why did he move up to 130 when he wasn't going to get a title shot right away? He's about to have his second fight at 130 pounds, and he's not fighting the top names. He's not going to get a big name at all. He's going to fight somebody possibly for an interim title, because they still holding up the WBO title that Jamel Herring has. Jamel Herring most likely is not going to fight Shakur Stevenson, and they just waiting for the big fight for Jamel Herring to fight Carl Frampton, and that fight has been postponed already like 3 times, and Shakur should have got that title shot. So if you're not going to give him the title shot with the WBO, reward him by giving him a much bigger fight with Oscar Valdez for the WBC, because that's the best matchup at 130 pounds, the best matchup.
It's the best matchup that doesn't involve Tank for sure. And I think that if Tank is going to weight hop like this, that's really the fight to determine who's the best at 130. And it's interesting because I thought, just based on the Quigg fight, based on a couple of other fights, like we've seen Valdez get into physical fights with guys that aren't necessarily as skilled as Berchelt. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, if Quigg can kind of draw him into that kind of fight, I feel like Berchelt will be able to do it. But, Valdez was on his fucking P's and Q's that whole fight, man. It was like he really didn't make one mistake. He didn't get caught with anything stupid. Every time his back even was near the ropes, he would turn off. He had, he was so switched on that I'm watching.
Game plan. Great game plan.
I'm like, if this doesn't get you a big fight, I don't know what does. Like, he's taking the best guy at this weight class and making him look silly.
They're gonna milk it. They're gonna milk it. That's what Top Rank does. They're gonna get him fighting a guy that's a solid guy and not a big name, just to keep him with a title defense, just to keep him away from Shakur Stevenson and those type of fights. They're not gonna give him. He's not gonna get a big fight right now. He's gonna ride into another title defense, and that's it. I think with that fight against Berchelt, he fought a perfect game plan. And it's all due to Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso has done a great job with this kid. Oscar Valdez, he has improved since the Scott Quigg fight. And, he fought a perfect fight. He was boxing beautifully. His jab was on point. The movement was on point. The defense was on point. And, he surprised me by getting a knockout, because I didn't think he was going to win by knockout. I didn't even pick Berchelt, and I like Berchelt a lot. I didn't pick Berchelt to win by knockout either. I thought this fight was going to go 12 rounds, and I thought that Berchelt was going to beat him up for 12 rounds, because Oscar Valdez has a great chin. I mean, the guy fought with a broken jaw. What I mean? So he has a great chin. He has tremendous heart, and we knew that coming into this fight. So I said this fight was going to go 12 rounds, and Oscar Valdez is going to get beat up by Berchelt, but nobody expected the outcome. It was a great game plan, and you got to give all respect to Eddie Reynoso in the job that he has done with this kid.
For real, man. And the jab was fucking money the whole time. It was like, wow, he's really prepared for this. He's not going to let himself sit in the pocket with this guy. He's not going to give him a second to set. He's keeping him moving the whole, I was just really impressed with it, man, because, and I was also I couldn't have been more wrong about how I thought that fight was going to go. Like I
all
love
of
that.
us.
I kind of love that feeling where it's like, wow, he really fucking pulled it off. He really pulled it off. I thought it was one of the best performances of like this COVID era, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It was really impressive.
I expected more of a war from both of them, but he boxed such a beautiful fight that, you know, he totally took the fight from Berchelt. Like he just totally threw that whole mentality of this is going to be two Mexicans bang it out, like the way they were building it up for Morales and Barrera. We were going to expect that type of fight. It didn't happen. It was just strictly dominant performance by Valdez, and you got to tip your hats off to this kid. This kid really put on a great fight.
He did. And I was actually thinking about this because they've been talking about the fact, you know, that maybe Lomachenko is not a full-blown lightweight. I would love to see Valdez and Lomachenko. I think that's a great fight.